What's good, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Loke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Now, what I wanted to get into was a question actually I was asked, right? One of my subscribers said he was watching one of my lives, right? And I had said that, you know, no active individuals even allowed to talk about like the street shit, right? The gang shit, but he has seen that there's been active individuals that have talked about the streets and they're still hanging around with their homies, and how could that be a-okay, or how's that possible, right? And that is in my channel about the gangster shit, right? And I keep forgetting that people don't know the difference from what's gangster shit. I mean, civilians don't know what's gangster shit. Gangster shit is see, it's different from talking about the street life, right? Individuals, the culture in itself, compared to talking about gang shit, gang politics. Gang shit is like if you're talking about what crimes that gangs are doing, right? Like, oh well, this gang, hey, yesterday, this gang was, they went and did a 211, or they shot somebody, or one of their homies, so and so is on the run for murder, or oh, their homie is, known for selling drugs, or talking about the activities that the gangs are doing, talking about individuals and their crimes, talking about um any type of information like that, right? Like any type of illegal activity with individuals, right? Like, oh yeah, that homie right there, that fool has a lot of guns, bro. He be selling them cheap. You know what I mean? Gang talk. That's gang talk. It's different from somebody telling you their experiences, or why individuals do what they do, compared to you're talking about actual criminal organization shit, right? Like stuff that the gangs have going on. I've never once came on here and talked about neighborhoods and what they have going on, right? Like, oh, this neighborhood, is known for this and that, or has done this and that. You know what I mean? Or even spoke about my neighborhood or anything like that. Our activities. That stuff that's, individuals who at least are functioning are not, can't speak about, are not allowed to speak on topics like that. But you see that channels, there's other individuals who, not with the life, that talk about ongoing investigations, or ongoing information that's breaking news or whatever, and they throw that information out there, right? That's the stuff that homies can't talk about. Like ongoing stuff that's happening, bro. Stuff that could actually affect individuals. You get me? If the information could affect them, then it's an issue. You know what I mean? Like when I talk about the mentalities, why stuff is the way it is when it comes to behaviors. I'm just talking about overall human behavior. You know, just breaking down the mentals, the emotions, and why people do what they do. Right, to get a better understanding. Is different from saying that you know I'm on here trying to glorify it, or make these guys seem badass, and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because truly, that other information, that's what you're doing. I mean, there's no other reason for that information. You know, because truly, how is that information going to help any of these individuals? I mean, these individuals aren't police officers or nothing like that, right? So, you know, so why throw it out there? I don't get it. Like, if anything, individuals are just going to see these guys as like, oh, damn, homie, these fools are really doing stuff. You know what I mean? It's going to give the opposite effect. That's the reason why I don't do it. Um, I don't get the motive that people say when they talk about why they do or why they speak about the topics, though. The only thing I could think of is because, it's what people want to hear, right? Because it's shit that, people can't talk about, so people want to hear it, right? So it's more for the audience, information gathering, you know what I mean? Because they want to know, because they're curious. And then actually helping, change or make a difference. But that's what I mean when I say that, active individuals can't talk about gang shit, right? That's the gang shit I'm talking about. Not the street life or the culture. I mean, actual gang activity. You know what I mean? Like what these neighborhoods are doing, what they're about, who's doing what, who's the movers and shakers, who's the ones that are calling shots and this and that, you know? who got busted or who's on the run or who's wanted or who's selling or who's, you get what I mean? Like gang business. That's what I'm talking about. And no active individuals on here um, talking about that because they can't. That's what I meant by that. Um, but I understand, people are not aware. It's kind of like the whole politics thing too, right? When people be like, "Oh, you can't be politicking." People don't even know what politics are, bro. You know what I mean? They're doing the guessing game. They're just trying to pretend like they know what politics are, or trying to guess the politics. But truly, none of these individuals know what the politics are. For people to be saying that people are politicking. I mean, homies know what politicking is, right? But obviously, nobody's politicking on here. Um, but it's funny how people like to throw those terms so loosely around. It's like, oh, why are you acting like you know what politicking is, my boy? I get it. You're trying to guess, bro. It's not gonna work. Knock it off. you know, it's almost like if they're feeding their ego too, right? Like these individuals that are pretending, right? Because they want to pretend like they're in the loop, right? Like get these individuals to, see them as somebody who's tapped in or knows what's the business. It's feeding their illusion as well. They're flexing their ego and a part of the delusion as well. They just don't realize it, right? Because they don't have a channel, so they feel like that they're not behaving the same way at these individuals. But when you do that kind of stuff, then you're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying though. Like topics like that, right? Stuff that could affect individuals, could get individuals caught up. Anything that could be used against them, in court, or um, persuading people's opinions, right? By throwing your, detective work in there, right? Um, you know, but like I said, it's just something that you don't see homies doing, right? So that's what I mean about gang shit, right? That's the gangster stuff that I'm talking about, and that's the reason why you see some individuals you think like, oh, they're talking about it, but then it's all cool. But that's because what they were saying wasn't actually really gang shit. You confused it because you thought it meant in general, like they can't talk about no gangster shit. That we're talking about when it could get people caught up, bro. Other than that, people don't give a fuck about what you talk about as long as it's not affecting nobody. Once it starts affecting people or it's bringing eyes on something, then there's gonna be issues. But overall, that's just a breakdown. Hope you understand the subject a little bit better. But other than that, what are your thoughts?